western sky gobbled summer down. And when the sun turned traitor cold, the shivering trees are standing in a naked road. I get the urge for going, but I never seem to go. And I get the urge for going when the meadow grass is turning brown. Summertime is a falling down. Winter's closing in. Now the warriors of winter gave a cold triumphant shout that all that stays is dying. All that lives is getting out. We see the geese in chevron flying. We're laughing at her racing on before the snow. They got the urge for going, and they got the wings to go. And they get the urge for going when the meadow grass is turning brown. Summertime is a falling down. Winter's closing in. I'll ply the fire with kindling, pull the blankets to my chin. I lock the vagrant winter out and hold my wandering in. I'd like to call back summertime, have her stay for just another week or so. But she's got the urge for going, she'll have to let her go. And she gets the urge for going when the meadow grass is a-turning brown. All her empires are falling down. Winter's closing in. And I get the urge for going when the meadow grass is a-turning brown. So Summertime is a falling down. Winter is closing in.
Whenever you're ready, Norb.
Okay. This is a little piece called The Water Lilies, and I just found it very meditative. I learned it as a dance tune, but also stands well on its own.
Hey, thanks, Norb. Welcome, everyone. This is John Hardy, where I am your moderator as usual today. I'm having a little bit of a problem with Zoom today, which is why we're kind of doing this in an somewhat more awkward manner than usual. I'm about to introduce Molly. Just a reminder to all the Celtic Guild people, my control panel is a little weird, and I'm working on trying to get the content to be able to load on the screen, but I'm not there yet. So just make sure that you are all off of mute, Celtic Guild folks, when it's time to speak. And Molly, I saw you on my panel here someplace, so why don't you go ahead? I see you on the list, Molly. There you go.
Here I go. So welcome everyone on this Celtic Festival of Samhain, October 31st, which celebrates the harvest being in, I think very much like Thanksgiving. And November 1st, which is All Saints' Day in the church, and this very day. I'm Molly Maisie O'Neill Loudon. It turns out to be a very Celtic name, Irish Scot, and I'm the facilitator of this Celtic worship team. There are 10 people who offer their gifts to bring this work together in community to nurture our spirits and to feel connection. So thank you for choosing to join us, because each one of us is a particular manifestation of God. And when we're together, even on Zoom, we bring the presence of God to each other. Our worship theme today is Remeberance. The Celtic calendar celebrates Samhain as a thin time, a thin space, meaning it is a time when the spirits of those who have died are close by. Thus, our theme of remembrance. Also, at a time when there is anxiety for many of us about the elections on Tuesday, our hope is that being together this afternoon will give us a sense of peace. And today there's a way to request a private prayer during the upcoming week by using chat. Include your name and phone number, and Wes or I will call you and pray with you. On the third Sunday, November 15th, we will gather together at the Simsbury Land Trust on Wheatog Street at 12:45 for a contemplative Celtic hike. There'll be more information sent later about the date and the place, but put it on your calendar for Sunday, November 15 at 12:45. There we will enjoy the sacred in all of creation and be together. Now, please stay with us after the worship for a discussion to learn from each other and to hear each other, including our own prayer requests. We have found this to be a powerful experience of community, which we all need now. Again, make yourself totally welcome. We are grateful that you are with us. We hope that what the team has prepared for you will nurture you and allow you to feel held in your connection to the divine, the sacred within you.
Jeff Burney.
Remember the circle of the sky, the stars and the brown eagle, the supernatural winds, breathing night and day from the four directions. Remember the great life of the sun, breathing on the earth. It lies upon the earth to bring out life upon the earth, life covering the earth. Remember the sacredness of things, running streams and dwellings, the young within the nest, a hearth for a sacred fire, the holy flame of fire.
Tom.
As
Tom,
I,
whenever you're ready.
as I went down in the river to pray, studying about that good old way, and who shall wear the starry crown? Good Lord, show me the way. Oh, sisters, let's go down. Let's go down. Come on down. Oh, sisters, let's go down in the river to pray.
As I went down in the river to pray, studying about that good old way, and who shall wear the robe and crown? Good Lord, show me the way.
Oh, brothers, let's go down. Let's go down. Come on down. Come on, brothers, let's go down in the river to pray. As I went down in the river to pray, studying about the good old way, and who shall wear the starry crown? Good Lord, show me the way. Oh, fathers, let's go down. Let's go down. Come on down. Oh, fathers, let's go down in the river to pray.
As I went down in the river to pray, studying about that good old way, and who shall wear the robe and crown? Good Lord, show me the way. Oh, mothers, let's go down. Come on down, don't you want to go down? Come on, mothers, let's go down in the river to pray.
As I went down in the river to pray, studying about the good old way, and you shall wear the starry crown. Good Lord, show me the way.
Oh, sinners, let's go down, come on down. Oh, sinners, let's go down in the river to pray. As I went down in the river to pray, studying about that good old way, and who shall wear the robe and crown? Good Lord, show me the way.
Thank you, Julia.
Thank you, Tom. And bear with me just a second. I'm going to pop the next. Julia, right? That's I was trying to
That
remember.
is correct.
Thank you, Tom and Julia. I want to give Julia Neal equal billing with Tom today. Okay.
Alone in Memories by Nazir Yassin. In this world where you and I share the same shade of the sky, isn't it hard to live like this? Living alone in memories, I tried so hard to hold your hand because I don't really understand. Why do we have to live like this? Living alone in memories. I wish that I could turn back time where everything was good and fine. Why do we have to live like this? Living alone in memories. Hi, everyone. My youngest daughter, Amelia, has recently become interested in birth signs and asked me the other day, she wanted to know exactly when I was born and exactly what time. Then she moved on to my parents. And while I can recall with some prodding the date and city of their birth, I have no idea as to what time they were born. And there is no one left to ask. And so I'm reminded that it has been said that we die 2 times. First, when our bodies give out, and finally, when no one can remember us. And it's okay. We're not all Lincoln or Shakespeare or Christ. Even now, there are a few who can remember Sinatra, Presley, or Lennon beyond My Way, Hound Dog, or Imagine. Imagine that. The incredible bodies of art these guys left behind reduced to a karaoke soundtrack. But that's okay. Memory is tricky. We know from science that as we remember things over time, we're actually remembering the remembrance, and that with each retelling or rethinking even, our memories fade to a copy of a copy. So that much like watching an often copied TV show on YouTube, eventually it's hard to recall the original sound, feel, look, and sense of what originally happened. And yet, clear, indelible imagery remains. My father turning me upside down and running upstairs to pound out a lollipop I had swallowed whole, while whole dust mites wafted in the morning sun down the same basement staircase. Canoeing on the St. John's River, singing Neil Young's Heart of Gold at the top of my lungs. Sitting on a late afternoon sun-streamed porch in Mendocino, just about to ask Rita to marry me. Seeing Julia walk with her squeaky shoes down the sidewalk for the first time. Pushing Amelia in her stroller on the 5th floor of a hotel in Nanning, China, while she power ate Cheerios. So many deep, seemingly indelible, moving memories. And yet, I think, was it the St. John's River or the Allagash? Was it on an 8th grade Boy Scouts trip or an 11th grade Outward Bound? Was Julia even wearing the squeaky shoes that day? And what, as we remember these things, what has been left out, fallen outside the margins of the memory, of the story we tell? Still, the imagery remains indelible, and the feeling remains deeply personal and deeply real. And it is through these remembrances that our life, the one that will eventually be forgotten, takes on real meaning and depth. I recently asked my men's group what they thought about the subject. Our ages run from 50 to 85 or so, and we like to tell a lot of stories to each other. Authenticity is important to us. Being present is important to us. And it is being present, being in the spirit, being of nature and wonder of all. Here I think lies a secret to remembrance. Wandering or wallowing in the past, worrying or overthinking the future may have their place in a time of pandemics and uncertain elections. There is just no getting around that. But being in the moment truly seems the most important gift we can give ourselves. And it is only by being in the moment that we truly have a chance for us to be able to remember, to be able to truly experience the beauty and power that is remembrance. And I'll just leave you with a small snippet from one of the lesser known and soon to be forgotten John Lennon songs called Remember. If you ever feel sad and the whole world is driving you mad, remember, remember today. Don't feel sorry about the way it's gone. Don't you worry about what you've done. Thanks.
Norb, you ready to go? I'll pop the chance up.
Well, speaking of remembering, today's chant, when it comes up, you'll see it's in a foreign language. It's in Sanskrit, which for the longest time was not used at all. And it was a sacred language about 3,000 years ago or so. And so each of the syllables has a special meaning. See there that the first word is Om, the universal primeval sound. Second is Bur, the third Bhuva, and the fourth Sva. These are aspects, the three aspects of the divine feminine, which is Gayatri. So there are many translations of this mantra. The one I chose and changed a little bit is this one. We meditate on that most adored mother of creation, whose effulgence or divine light illumines all realms, physical, mental, and spiritual. May this divine light illumine our minds. Om Bhuva Svaha Tatsavitur Varenyam Argo Devasyani Mari Yoyona Prachodaya. You can sing that at home. You can just read those little letters there. Om Bhuva Svaha Tatsavitur Varenyam Argo Devasya Dimari Yoyona Prachodaya. Om Bhuva Svaha Tatsavitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimari Dhiyo Yona Prachodaya. Om Bhuva Svaha Tatsavitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimari Dhiyo Yona Prachodaya. Om Bhuva Svaha Tatsavitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimari Dhiyo Yona Prachodaya. Om Bhuva Svaha Tatsavitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimari Dhiyo Yona Prachodaya. Om 부어서 사비투가리 아고레가 시아리 마리 디오로나 라초다야 온부두바사 사리투가리니암 아고레가 시아리 마리 디오로나 라초다야 온부두바사 사비투가리니암 아고레가 시아리 마리 디오로나 라초다야 온부부바사 사리투바리니암 아고레가 시아리 마리 디오로나 라초다야 온부부바사 사비투바리니암 아고레가 시아리 마리 디오로나 라초다야 온부부바사 사비투바리니암 아고레가 시아리 마리 디오로나 라초다야 온부부바사 사비투바리니암 아고레가 시아리 마리 디오로나 라초다야
Nor make sure you're unmuted. I'm not hearing you. There we go. Mary.
The intercessory prayer, thanks, John. The form of this Celtic prayer is an ancient Celtic custom, this circle prayer. John will read the responses. You're all welcome to read aloud at home. The responses, excuse me. Somebody else is going to have to read this.
Wes, why don't you, Wes, can you unmute and we'll get you to read the prayer part and I'll read the response if that's okay.
Okay, can you hear me? I got to unmute. I think I should be on here. Okay,
All right, I hear you.
good. Okay. So circle us, spirit of love.
In the remembrance of those we have lost from earthly sight,
Circle us, Lord of mystery.
that we may remember our loved ones with forgiveness and thanksgiving,
Circle us, Lord of love.
that we may pass on the gifts of our ancestors,
Circle us, spirit of air.
breathe your healing energies into our bodies, our relationships, our communities,
Circle us, Lord of the earth.
that we may care for your creation as we care for ourselves,
Circle us, Lord of waters.
that we may receive purification through your love,
Circle us, spirit of fire.
keep passion in our hearts for those who need our help,
Circle us, spirit of faith.
that we may hear your voice when you speak to us,
Circle us, Lord of life.
that we may be grateful for all that we have been given. Please say together, circle us,
Circle us,
Lord.
Lord. Keep light
Keep
within.
light within, keep
Keep
darkness out.
out. May
May
you
you
stand in the circle with us today
today and
and always.
may
May
you
you be a bright
be a
flame
bright flame before
us.
May you be a
May you be a guiding star above us.
above us. May you
May you
be
be a smooth path below us.
And
And
a
a
loving
loving
guide
guide behind us
behind us today, tonight,
tonight
and forever.
and forever.
Amen. Thanks for jumping in, Wes.
You're welcome.
The closing
with me just
prayer is on Passing a Graveyard by John O'Donohue.
Bear with me 1 second, Jeff. Jeff, 1 second. Let me pop it up here for you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, now you're good.
Great, thanks. May perpetual light shine upon the faces of all who rest here. May the lives they lived unfold further in spirit. May all their past travails find ease in the kindness of clay. May the remembering earth mind every memory they brought. May the rains from the heavens fall gently upon them. May the wildflowers and grasses whisper their wishes into light. May we reverence the village of presence in the stillness of this silent field.
Molly, I found you in my list. You're unmuted.
Right. Just two reminders. One, our Celtic hike in 2 weeks on Sunday, November 15 in Simsbury at the Land Trust, and you'll get more particulars soon at 12:45. And please stay with us for the discussion and added prayer requests on this theme of remembrance. It is good for us to be together. Deep peace of the running wave to you. Deep peace of the flowing air to you. Deep peace of the quiet earth to you. Deep peace of the shining stars to you. Deep peace to you.
Thank you, Molly. And as Molly said, we invite you to stay around and join us for conversation and further exploration of the theme Remembrance. Thank you for your patience as I seem to have run into some Zoom problems on my end this week, but I think it worked out well. You all have the ability to unmute yourself now. What we'd ask is that you keep yourself on mute until you're ready to contribute to the discussion, just because that your microphones all tend to pick up a lot of background noise and it gets confusing. Every now and then I will pop on and mute people if I think that there's some background noise. So just double check to make sure that icon is clear when you go ahead to join the conversation. We invite your contributions, your prayers, anything that you would like to say to us, either by email. You see the email address on the screen, ctcelticworship@gmail.com, or if you send us some information that you'd like to have posted on our Facebook page. The Facebook page is CT Celtic Worship. And we're also on Instagram, and I need to update this slide now. I'm just getting started on posting some stuff to the Instagram page, but we're on Instagram under Connecticut Celtic, if you search for us there, if you're an Instagram junkie, as am I. With that, thanks for joining us, and let's move into the conversation.
Tom, this is Molly, and I'm wondering if you might say a little bit about how you put together your reflection.
Sure. I, waited to the last minute. No, there's a lot of, these themes are big and broad, and a lot of it comes when you look up remembrance. A lot of it has to do with the departed, and I didn't really want to go to that too far, and so I kind of wanted to get into the idea of memory and creating memories and how this group, these services, Celtic, are about being in the moment. I mean, when we do this well, which we often do, we are able to be in the moment. When we chanted today, and when we had the silence, we're of the moment, in the moment. And I think when you can be in the moment, that's something that can make an indelible mark on you and makes you be able to remember. And it's like, the life unexamined is not, no life. And part of that is being present. And so that was really where I got my inspiration for it.
I want to say something that triggers or brings up inside me, which is, it's my experience that it is only when I am present that the record button is on. It is only then that I remember.
Exactly. Exactly. And I wanted to leave enough space for people to remember, you know, to be triggered and to have start thinking about some of the memories we all have.
And please thank Julia for singing. It was great to see her.
Yeah, it was great. You know, she was, yeah, it was fun. We had a little struggle with the harmony, so we had to make an adjustment on the fly there. But she's a much better singer than me, so that's where the problem with the harmony was.
You're just different.
Yeah, different. That's it. I'm gruffer.
Precisely. So let's hear what was created remembrances for any of you that are willing to share. Were you going to say something, Mary?
Oh, was it? Well, it wasn't, but I will. Yes, if you're still here, thank you so much for jumping in. It's only a matter of time before I have my famous cough take over when I have to speak.
You're welcome.
I do not have COVID. Don't anybody worry. I'm not sick. It's a cough I've had for 20 years, and it's mostly allergic, and it's extremely inconvenient. However, that's not what I was thinking about. What I was thinking about is that for several years, where I used to live, we did a workshop on the day of around Halloween time and All Saints, where we made these little altars out of cardboard and used all kinds of different images, and people could choose whatever they wanted to make the altar about. And because I did the workshop many times, I made one of the altars about my mother and included pictures from her life and symbols that I thought were about that. And it was a profound experience for me. I made one about my father. I made one about the disappearing wildlife. And I still have those. And right then, Molly, when you asked me if I wanted to say something, I don't know what flagged that, but what I was thinking of is that at some point, maybe we could have a workshop and do that, because it is an exercise in prayer. Many of you know I'm an art therapist, so it's right up my alley. But you don't have to be either an artist or an art therapist to do it. It's just something that comes very naturally and isn't about producing anything, but it gives you some time to be present to a specific memory. And that's what I really, really liked about Tom's reflection tonight, because that is what brings memories back. We have to be present to them, and we have to be present at the time they happen, or they don't record. That is really absolutely right on, Molly. Anyway, that's all I want to say. Hello?
Oh, I'm here. I too appreciated, Tom, how personal you made your reflection, because that allowed me during the silence to reflect on the saints in my life from the beginning until right now. And some of them have passed on and some of them haven't. But it was just a good exercise. And I think your suggestion, Mary, is a really good one. A good practice, a good prayer experience. So anyone else have something to share with us?
I do, Mom.
Oh, Lord.
Thank you for your support, Mother. What I wanted to share was that I just happened to be near the neighborhood where I grew up, initially in West Hartford, on the other side of town from where my parents now reside, yesterday. And so it was a different way of looking at memory for me. And I decided to drive by our old house. And as I did it, I remembered each family who lived in the houses in our neighborhood. And now I'm getting verklempt. Sorry about that. And it was just such a lovely experience to remember the memories I had from that house and our across the street neighbors and their children and our next door neighbors and all of the memories and families and shared experiences that we had. We like to joke, although it was actually true, that we were the only Christians within about a mile radius of our house until the Hindus moved in down the block. So I grew up as an Episcopalian who built sukkahs on Sukkot and went to bar and bat mitzvahs when I was 13 with all of my friends, and went to a lot of Passover Seders and came home singing holiday songs about dreidels, much to my mom's chagrin. But it was just a lovely, lovely memory, to just go among my old neighborhood and remember all the families that resided in those houses and the people who were there and just all the shared experiences that we had. So I just wanted to say that, Mother. Was that okay? Okay.
Norb, I wanted to say to you, just when you said that the chant was Sanskrit, it's interesting that there is a history of Sanskrit having an influence on the Gaelic language. So who else can share a memory?
Well, I'll
Well,
share.
Shannon, oh,
Hold on. Tanya had her hand up and I just needed to tell her to unmute. You can unmute
Oh,
yourself.
thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Shannon.
oh, hi, Tanya.
Hi, Molly. Hi, Mary. I'm in late because I was on my mind body group with Indigenous women from Navajo Nation and the Lakota Nation and the Persian Nation. And it was so powerful. One of the people in the group is a young woman that I met when she was 9 years old. And she's 30 now. And I know her family. They're Lakota from South Dakota. So it was just wonderful to see her as an adult. I remember when I met her, she gave me her school picture. She was in 4th grade. On the back, she said, "Don't forget me." How could I forget her? And here she was today in my group, and it just, I don't know, just really made my heart very filled with love. And she was talking about some, I don't know, something molecular genetics that she studies, and it just blew me out of the water thinking, wow, When she was 9, she didn't know about that, but today she was teaching me, you know, and it was just so beautiful. Just really so beautiful. So, and we're a women's group, and so we did a lot of crying and a lot of sharing about memories. And some of the memories were very painful. So we all cried with each other, and it's just so healing to be able to, I don't know, I love doing this mind body work. It just is so powerful. And Zoom is such a gift, you know, because I don't have to go to Arizona and I don't have to go to South Dakota. I can do it right here from West Hartford. And so, Shannon, I really liked what you shared about going back to your neighborhood, because that is so powerful. One of the things I shared was a poem I wrote about my daughter's breath, because what we do in the mind body group, breath is key, you know, to be in the present moment. Breath is everything. Breath is sacred, you know. It's God in our bodies, that breath. And when my daughter was dying 2 years ago in ICU, I wrote a poem about her breath. And now she has died, you know, she died in June. So I hope her spirit's breathing someplace. She came from me, so she's part of me still, so I'll keep breathing for now. But I'm just feeling very powerful, the power of God today in my life. And the connections, and the Persian doctor that came into my life, she's my spiritual daughter. I don't know, it's just so powerful. So I'm sorry I missed your reflections today, but we went over time. So next month I'll be here more present, and I really enjoy being with all of you. And I just finished reading a book, and it had a lot of Celtic references in it. And I'm reading Braiding Sweetgrass right now that Molly told me about. One of my South Dakota friends had 2 copies. She sent it to me in the mail. And it's all about stories, you know, the indigenous stories, the creation stories. And so that's what we're talking about today. So I don't know, I'm just filled with all kinds of good feelings. So thank you for being here. Thank you for letting me share, and we'll keep smiling no matter what, right? Keep praying, keep smiling, keep laughing.
Thank you, Tanya. Just to say that it's been a real learning for me how much similarity there is between the worship and the practices of all indigenous people. And the Celts are indigenous people. So their connection to the earth and their connection to the seasons and to nature is very similar to the indigenous peoples of North America.
Well, what the young girl was sharing today is the mitochondrial theory, that we all come from a certain place. Women do. We carry it in our mitochondrial, I don't know where it is, somewhere in our body, our heart or something. And it's a circle of energy, and how we are all related. You know, the Lakota say Matakwiyasam. We are all related, and we are. And I'm Russian and Ukrainian and Polish, and so my indigenous background would be the shamanic background. So we're all related. We are all related. We are all indigenous to some place.
Please, anyone
Hey,
else
Hi,
have
Molly,
something? Yes,
go ahead.
you go ahead.
All right. Uh, I am inspired by what Shannon said a few minutes ago. And I thought back to where my neighborhood, as I was growing up in a small town in Iowa. And my memories, in many ways, were not good memories. And I left that town after high school and I go back to Fairfield, Iowa, which is a town of 8,000 or 9,000 people, every 5 years for my high school class reunion. The class reunion committee always asked me to be the master of ceremonies at this grand occasion of 60 or 80 people. And I think I go back there, I come away with good memories because I grew up feeling like I was not well liked. I go back and people tell me how much they loved me as I was growing up. And so I guess I feel good about having transferred what were not good memories into good memories every 5 years. We've already talked about our 65th class reunion next year. And I'm in touch with the committee. So thank you, Shannon, for inspiring that.
Shannon also inspired me. My father was a Methodist minister, so we moved a lot when I was really little. And, but we spent 11, almost 12 years in one place, and that was in the Hudson Valley in Poughkeepsie, New York. And it was, adolescence is always difficult. But one thing I really, really loved was the parsonage we lived in. It was the only house that I really remembered as a place that felt like ours, even if it wasn't ours. And after we left Poughkeepsie, the Methodist Church sold that church to a fundamentalist congregation called the River Church. And they changed it drastically. I went back once and walked through it. But that was okay with me. I mean, that was the past, this was the present. But shortly after that, it burned to the ground by an electrical fire. And the parsonage, this was an old building, 1890, and the parsonage had been built at the same time as adjacent, not only adjacent to, but connected to the church. So if I took a bath on Thursday night, the bathtub was basically under the choir, under the pipes of the organ. And it was just such a quirky place to live. And I saw a picture of that parsonage recently. That house was the only thing that was left standing. And it was all boarded up, and the church was gone, and the house next to it was gone, and it was so shocking to me that this place that held so many memories for me was so greatly changed. But there's still an energy about it that makes me want to go back there and walk on that property, because that was really the place where I went through such tremendous spiritual growth and learning and connection, and from which I went out and met my British and Welsh relatives and walked the Yorkshire moors with them and discovered the ancient Celtic rocks that 5,000 years BC, the Celts carved their symbols into these rocks, and that it was all my heritage. And we are connected to everywhere we have ever been because we've walked that place on earth. it has something, it enters us. I don't know, maybe it's mitochondrial. But even here, when we're not together in the same space, I feel that sense of connection. And that, Shannon, what you said just flooded me with all of that memory. Like Bruce and Fairfield, Iowa. It's all connected. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say.
Thanks, Mary. This is Molly, and I'm the third Loudon in this group.
Hold on, Mom. There was a woman who had her hand up, and all it says is iPad, but she wanted to speak.
Good.
Oh,
I don't know her name,
it's
so
Gail.
I just.
I'll make it quick.
Hi, Gail.
Hi, everybody. My memory, and I've loved hearing everybody else's, had to do with a song. I do music for Rhythms of Grace once a month. It's always the same day as the Celtic Worship. It's through St. John's in Pine Meadow, New Hartford, for families with different needs like autism. And I got asked to do the music and one new type of song every week, as well as additional repeated songs. And for All Saints Day, the song that popped into my head immediately was from a Broadway show called Auntie Mame, or Mame, and it was St. Bridget. So I think Molly, you have the cross, the Celtic cross of St. Bridget. Is that right? Is that? I'm
Yes,
not
I
sure,
do.
but I
And
think.
in fact,
Anyway, Celtic. I thought it was a good Celtic saint. Okay. Yes.
she is the great Celtic saint. Not only the great Celtic
I
saint,
couldn't quite
she is-
hear.
Not only is
Yes.
Bridget the great Celtic saint, she is the lead goddess of the Druids.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
she is
Yeah.
standing
So
now
to go back
in
to
our foyer.
sorry.
We have the knight in
Oh, that's
armor
wonderful.
dressed as Bridget in our entryway.
Oh my word. Oh my word. So to go back to Mame and read these lyrics about St. Bridget that was from this show a long time ago, was just the first line. I did change the ending of it. It's St. Bridget, deliver us to Beekman's place. And I changed, instead of Beekman's place, because we all have a place. You've all been talking about these wonderful places in your lives. I felt guided to change the words to St. Bridget, deliver us with God's good grace. And that's how I sang that song, God's good grace. Because God's good grace hopefully is with us always. And the rest of the song you can find online, the lyrics. And it's about courage. It's about deliver us from wicked and depraved. And so it's a time of, we're in a different time right now. And it just felt, and that to think about Iona and the St. Bridget and that our trip and how this service came to be. So it was a very nice collection of memories of my own growing up with a lot of musical theater. My mother was an actress, a lot of music. So thanks for letting me share.
I love that musical. We saw Angela Lansbury on Broadway in that musical.
All right, yeah, yeah.
And Bridget supposedly was raised on Iona.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
thank you, Gail. What I wanted to say is the third Loudon on this Zoom is my husband joined the Ribicoff Law Firm when we moved from Florida to Hartford, Connecticut in 1969. And because those were the only people we knew we of course ended up in an entirely Jewish neighborhood. And that was a great experience for all of us because they were so welcoming and so inclusive. And also on Yom Kippur, our children had to go to school. No one else in the neighborhood had to go to school. They were all with their families celebrating, and it was just a very good learning. I think it has impacted us deeply about what it means to be a minority and also what it means to be welcomed and to learn how much we have in common and to be included. So it's a good memory.
Just for the moment, I popped up the lyrics from St. Bridget from Maine. If someone wants to give it a sing.
No, Tom, could you do even better and play the video that's associated with it? Because that's Agnes Gooch. I could see her.
Yeah, there you go. That's
New York is like a foreign country. You don't have to worry, Patrick. I'm worried about the both of us. We have to do it with the lawyer's help.
Are you guys getting the sound? Because I'm. All right. Well, that was found. I'm going to kill it because I'm not sure how well the quality. Yeah, you heard the sound. I'm sorry because I'm logged onto Zoom a little bit differently tonight because I had problems at the start. I can't monitor what I'm showing. But that came up a very simple Google search of St. Bridget plus Maine musical. So if anyone's interested in following that on their own afterwards, and I've written myself a note and I will actually post that to our Facebook page a little bit later on this evening, just for fun. How's that?
Great, thank you. Anybody else have memories?
Oh, sorry. Can I share something, Molly?
Hi, Jared.
Hi, Molly. Let me introduce. No. Okay.
Who is with you?
Hi, I'm Kate.
Hi, Kate.
Hi.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, my friend Kate. That's nice for me to have with me today.
It's great to have you.
Thank you so much.
So I don't, a memory isn't coming to mind, but I just wanted to say that I'm feeling not uncharacteristically, but particularly tender right now, and I was very, very moved and impacted by everything, particularly Norb's chant and Tom's sharing, and then everyone's sharing here, everyone's personal sharing and reflection. You all, it's like I'm feeling very moved and impacted by you all, like the way you are, the way you are, the sharings you have, the presences that you have. It's just really good to be in contact with that, with you. Makes a big difference. So I just want to say thank you. That's it. That's all. That's all I have.
Thank you, Jared.
You're welcome.
Anybody else?
Hi, it's Sarah Haddon.
Hey, Sarah.
Hi.
I see you know who too.
I also went back to my childhood home, not very recently, but sometime in the last 5 years. And I was impressed by how short the distances were and how small the house looked. And I was aware that my memories were through a child's eyes, and that we carried the memories of the time that we were experiencing things. And it feels like that makes our memories very much our own.
That is so true. Do you remember the memory game?
No.
Nobody had this, by the time it got to the end of the game, nobody could remember where we started.
That's telephone, Mom.
All right, telephone. And I absolutely understand what you're talking about. We had a creek in a vacant lot in my neighborhood, and we made that little stream of water into the Nile, into the Amazon. I know if I saw it today, I would think, how did we ever do that? But it must have to do with the fact that we're smaller and everything seems so big. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you all for this service. It was lovely.
JCDH seemed to have liked it also. Oh, your left shoulder's working.
Yes, indeed.
Molly, may I say something?
Hi, Linda.
Hi, the last sharing, and I'm sleepy now, but I'm sorry, I forgot who said it, but being a French major, it reminded me of Marcel Proust's The Madeleine, where he had this taste of this cookie and the whole world opened right up to him. And that's what happens when those wonderful remembrances, like I remember my beautiful, wonderful deceased horse, and I'm back in the stable, and I smell the manure, and I see his hair on my clothing, and it just is reliving. Yes, remembrance is to relive, and so I just had to share that. Thank you.
And you point to a very important part of memory, which is using all of our senses. When we're present, that comes into our memories. Thank you, Linda. Anybody else have a memory for us?
I don't have a memory, but I have a prayer request, if you can't tell by my background.
Okay.
Let's just pray for our country and for our fragile democracy and for all humans in the United States and in the world, is what I'm hearing about, because it doesn't just affect our country, it affects the world. That certain people get elected on Tuesday, which we may not know about on Tuesday. We'll have to have some patience maybe. But I hope to still be living in this country during the next Celtic service. And just get out and vote. I do care, obviously, about who you vote for, but I really hope that everybody gets out and votes, if you haven't done so already, and that our democracy is preserved.
Thank you, Shannon. JC, David Haddon, I saw you.
Oh, nowhere to hide. I was, as I've been listening to and very touched by everybody's remembrances, and thank you for your prayer, Shannon. It occurs to me that one source of memories for me is through dreams. I've been in recent weeks, for reasons I can't quite fathom, waking to very early memories, tender memories of my mother, with whom I had a fraught, contentious relationship as an adult. And she's been gone for 16 years now. And I think the contention has eased, and I feel early physical memories of tactile tenderness that come to me primarily in dreams, and it feels consonant somehow with this notion of this thin time of year, and these maybe being more than memories, but some deeper connection to her spirit. So.
Sounds like body recordings to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's something past and present at the same time in the dream experience.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, David. It is a thin time.
Kate wants
Yes,
to talk,
Kate.
Mom.
What?
Kate wants to talk.
I know.
Oh, good. Okay.
Can you tell she's my daughter?
Yes, I love it. The humor, everything is so touching. I'm happy to see families bonding, different generations and parents and stuff. Children, parents. Oh, who's that?
That's John Hardy.
Wow, wonderful. So beautiful. So I'm
That's
remembering.
my son, Mom. She's saying,
Oh,
Oh, hi, William.
Hi, young man. Wow, that's wonderful. So yeah, that's touching, because I'm remembering and I'm also requesting prayers at the same time, sort of. So this made me remember my father. My father passed away sadly in 1999 when I was young. So I'm 27, just to give an idea.
You were
So
very young.
Wow.
yeah, it was a long time ago. So he used to take me around in the park. We would go to the park. We would look at plants and flowers and stuff like that. And I remember going to a graveyard with him, and we went over to this one headstone or something and looked at it. And he said, he would like kind of narrate stuff as we did it. He was sort of kind of like a druid. He was a spiritual guy, kind of. And he was like, well, this girl was about your age when she died, and I was like 4 or 5 years old. So I was floored. I was like, wow, okay, how did she die? He said, well, back in the old days, people probably would get sick, or something tragic could have happened. She could have got, any array of things could have happened. And he could tell I was a little distressed by this, because I was so innocent, thinking, oh my gosh, like when you're old, I guess you die, right? And then he kind of messed with that. And so he took a little like thistle, those little purple flowers that grow just here on the ground, and the white ones too, there's white ones as well. And he put it over on her grave and said, that's to remember her. So you can do that, and you can like put a flower on someone's grave to show them that you're thinking about them. And I think about that, I swear, it's like it happened yesterday kind of thing. And I think about how I used to pull off the little petals and suck on them, and it was sweet, like the little clovers and stuff. And it's just crazy how, like, back to that whole idea of memories being so tactile. And the dreams, it's sometimes he'll visit me and he's a bird in my dreams. It's so weird, all these things that your brain is just putting together. So I just hope everybody prays for the people that they remember and their departed loved ones, because I think right now, as it's, what was the word, like delicate or thin time?
Thin
Thin
time.
time. Yeah, thank you. That resonates because it's thin. We're all worn thin by the circumstances in the world. Shannon's nodding and with enthusiasm at that, because it's definitely sort of how we all feel. It's thin. So I pray for everybody, and I hope you do the same. Pray for the people you love who are dead and those who are still around. And the line is thin with that too, kind of, because people are in bad health and stuff. So yeah, got me feeling some type of way.
Good.
But bluntly, yeah. Thank
There's a
you.
wonderful Celtic tale that that heaven is a foot and a half above the tallest man in the room,
Oh,
or that the spirits are just a foot and a half
wow.
above the tallest man in the room. And when they asked Teilhard de Chardin, where do souls go when they die? He said, nowhere.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I'm shook.
Well, and you know this, Jared,
Mm.
the Jewish custom is to light a candle for a year so the souls can find their way home.
And
Yes.
to place a rock on a tombstone
Yes.
of a true mensch or whatnot.
Yes.
We're
And I
Catholic. We've always done that. We've always done
wanted to say, Kate, I think that what you're referring to may have been either a clover or a thistle, which is the flower of Scotland, if it's a thistle.
Okay.
So, but thistles have a lot more of the thorny stuff on it, and you may have been referring to a clover, but a thistle is, I believe, the flower of Scotland. So very Celtic.
Yes. Thank you.
You got me with
Thank
that.
you.
Yeah, thank you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
You got me with that, Molly. You said, where do the souls go when they die? Nowhere. Or they're right here, yeah.
And the Celts would say, especially now, around this holiday. Thank you, Kate.
My son is commanding me to go have dinner, Mom.
Because he wants to eat.
I will say goodbye.
Hi, Will.
Prayers for America on Tuesday. If you want a party atmosphere on election day, come visit us in Andover. We're going to be playing music and have coffee and donuts and just everything. It's going to be a party in Andover. So come visit our gazebo. Bye, Nana. Bye,
Bye,
Nana.
darling. Anybody else want to share? Are there any other prayer requests? I hear some. Well, let's just close in the unity of being together, in gratitude for this time, for all the team does to make it happen. And especially realizing as we head into this election week that we do have connection and we do have support. And we do belong to this community. This is our home. the planet is our home. There isn't any other place that matches us the way the planet Earth matches us. May it be a very good week for everyone. Thank you. Thank you, John. Deep peace
Deep
to
peace.
each of you.
Thank you all.
Thank you.